6:20, so we want to get this thing rolling. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Lori Waraka. You've probably seen my name on the lovely emails that I send you. I'm with the Parents and Alumni Relations Office, also known as PAR, and I'd like to thank you very much for being here tonight. I know you'd probably rather be home, all nice and comfy and warm in your house, maybe watching a Christmas movie, because that's where I would be right now. But anyway, thank you for being here. Can you believe your kids are freshmen? Weren't they just like in elementary school? It's scary how quickly they grow up, but thank you for being here. High school is a really exciting time, but it's also a really important time, and it's important that you as parents know what's going on with your kids. So thank you very much for coming. I do want to thank the ladies at the registration table. That's Mana Miyasato. She is with the summer school office. She was voluntold. And then we also have Nadine Jakang. She has several children up here. She also has a freshman, and she is our ATP president this year. So yay, Nadine. Anyway, okay, we're gonna get things started. We're gonna start off with Pule, and to do that is going to be our summer school director, Ms. Kella Park.
Let's bow our heads in prayer. Our Father in heaven, we come together as faculty, staff, family, and friends of Kamehameha Schools, grateful for the opportunities that we have to be here. Grateful for our princess and her vision and her dreams that allows us so many different opportunities. We're grateful, Father, for the safety that Thou has provided for each of us as we traveled here, and we pray continued safety for those who are still on their way. We pray, Father, that Thou will guide and direct this meeting tonight, that the information that is shared will be important and relevant to the families that are here, that they will go away knowing more and being able to have discussions with their children to better inform them of the direction and the future of their students. We pray a blessing on those who will present, that they will be clear, and that they might be able to present the information that is here. Again, Father, we are grateful to be here. We're grateful for our princess. We're grateful for Thy Son. And in this Christmas season, we pray that Thou will touch our hearts, that we may find ways to serve those around us. We love Thee, Heavenly Father, and we say these things humbly in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Mahalo, Kella. Okay, now Mrs. Alayasa, unfortunately, is unable to be with us tonight, but we do have Mr. Eric Okazaki. He is the current vice principal for the freshman class. He's going to say a little welcome, a few words.
Aloha, everybody. Some of you don't know who I am yet. I'm Mr. Okazaki. I've been teaching economics and American law for the last, 15, 16 years to mostly seniors. So now it's a little different, coming back down to 9th grade. But I don't know my number yet, but you can call the main office and they'll transfer you. But thank you for coming tonight. This is an important session, as you all know. So I'll turn it over to... I don't have an agenda, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Okazaki. Okay, we're going to get things started with our grade level counselors.
Hi, good evening. I'm Aunania Hakuelo Chernisky, and I work with students in the second half of the Alpha, KI through Z.
Hi, good evening. I'm Tara Pagayas, and I have students in the beginning of the Alpha from A through KE.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started with our presentation. We have a lot of material to cover tonight and share this wonderful information with you. Okay, so this is what we're going to be covering tonight. We're going to be talking a little bit about high school graduation requirements and the registration process. We're also going to be talking about dual credits, summer school, and then after we finish with this, then we're going to be talking about Naviance. We're going to have you folks working hands-on in the Naviance program. Okay, so all of you received or should have received a handout. So you're going to see something like this, and it talks about our graduation requirements. So all students need to earn 24 credits to graduate, to earn a diploma from Kamehameha Schools. Okay, so the solid credit courses and things that they need include English, so they need 4 years of English. They're going to need 3.5 years of social studies. And that's going to be, the way they earn that is in freshman year, they all have to complete a Hawaiian culture course. In sophomore year, it'll be a world history course. Junior year, US history, and then senior year, it'll be economics and Hawaiian history. And so that's how they get the 3.5 credits. Now for math, they all have to take 3 years of math and earn 3 credits. It has to be consecutive years. So they will need to have a math course in freshman, sophomore, and junior year. There can be no break in the years. They have to take it consecutively. And then for science, they also need 3 years of science, but it doesn't have to be consecutive. Language, they need 2 years of the same language, and that has to be consecutive, just like the math. So if they're enrolled in Hawaiian 1 right now in freshman year, then they would need to take Hawaiian 2 in sophomore year to complete it. And then speech, they need to earn 1 credit, and then they would earn the first half credit with this regular speech course, and that would be in either grades 9 or 10. And then in grades 11 or 12, they take the second course, which is the advanced speech course, and that's how they get the 1 speech credit. Now, we also have non-solid requirements that students are required to take. And those are also credited classes. So personal health, so they have to complete that by the end of sophomore year. Physical education is 1.5 credits, and they will take their first course, PE course, in second semester of freshman year. So next semester, they will have PE, and that's how they will earn that half a credit. And then in sophomore year, it's an entire year, so they will earn their 1 credit in sophomore year. Now, performing arts, they can take anywhere from grades 9 through 12. It's 1 course, so that's half a credit. And then visual arts, same thing. They take 1 course anywhere in grades 9 through 12, and that would be half a credit. So the visual arts requirement, they can currently meet that by taking art history, photography 1, digital photography 1, or new media 1. And then elective courses will make up the credit difference. Okay, so again, 24 credits. So let's say they took 4 years of math. The 4th year will get automatically credited to the electives. 4 years of science, same thing. That year will get credit to the electives. So that's how they get the elective credits. Okay, so they also have non-credit requirements. So all students have to be enrolled in an Ecologia course all 4 years. So 1/4 of that, that's religious education. Guidance, they also have guidance all 4 years. And that runs throughout the year. So we run anywhere between 6 to 9 for grade level lessons, and they're spread out throughout the year. Okay, school service, so that doesn't apply to them this year, but for sophomore and junior year, your students will be enrolled in 1/4 of school service for both grades 10 and 11. And then when they become juniors and seniors, while they do not have a formal PE class, they still will have to meet with a PE teacher at least once a week. And that's what we call the PE Aerobics Maintenance Proficiency. And then they will sign up for a community event. And once they complete that and they meet all of the other requirements for that training, then they will receive a pass grade on their transcript. It is posted, even though they're not getting credit. And then Hawaiian language proficiency, it's a C- or higher in Hawaiian 1 or skill assessments. So if your student has come from Hawaiian immersion school or has prior language, Hawaiian language, then there are some tests that they can take. And so if they haven't already met with either the language department or their counselor and they're coming with that skill set, then please have them come and see us so we can get them squared away for next year. Okay, there's also the swimming proficiency, which usually they complete by the end of sophomore year. And then special events like Founders Day, song contests, when they graduate, the baccalaureate, and the actual graduation ceremony, students are expected to attend all of the rehearsals and the events, okay, as part of their graduation requirements. And then in senior year, they're also required to complete a senior service project, and that will happen in October of their senior year. Okay, so this is the registration piece. So this is the timeline. And I'm sorry, I don't have the exact dates. They haven't been given to us yet. But we've already begun the registration discussion with the freshmen in guidance. So we did this a couple of weeks ago. So we talked to them about registration. We actually had them completing a 4-year plan, both hard copy and in KS Connect. At least in KS Connect, it shows their sophomore year courses. Okay, so in January, when we return from Christmas break, teachers are going to be putting in their recommendations for next school year. So please be on the lookout for that. Those will be available in KS Connect. And then in late January, registration is going to open by grades. So current juniors will register first, then current sophomores, and then the freshmen, and then 8th graders will come after that. Now, summer school registration is going to come shortly thereafter. And again, the students will register in KS Connect. Summer school registration is a live registration, so they will know whether they get the course right then and there. And then in early February, probably within the first couple weeks, the registration window will close. But we still work with students all the way till, I would say, through the end of April. So if we do go over their registration requests, and we do look at those course requests. And if we have any questions, or if they have any questions, then we meet and we talk about it, and then we make those subsequent changes if needed. Okay, so you folks should also have this handout here. And we just kind of wanted to show you, so we do old school style too with the kids. So we had them working on this in guidance. The 4-year plan, we had them plot everything that you see here from English down to performing arts, which are the graduation requirements, had to fit somewhere in here on the 4-year plan. So if you want to see it, we did collect it, but if you want to see it or if you'd like a copy of it, you can let us know, email us or call us, and then we can email that to you. We can make a copy for you and email it. So the registration piece again, this is what it's going to look like in KS Connect. So what we had the students do is we had them go into their 4-year plan. Already you would see the courses that they are registered for in 9th grade, and then we had the course requests that they want for next school year. We had them put it in for 10th grade. So what'll happen when the registration window opens, when that piece opens up for them, all they need to do is click the rollover button, and the courses from that plan are going to roll over into that registration window. Now, if they don't have it in their plan, then the students are going to have to manually input it. So we tried to make it easy for them, and we do know that there are going to be some changes, and we can go ahead and help them with that. But they might want to, you might want to have them, either open it for you, or you can access it and take a look at it for yourselves. Okay, and this is what the recommendations are going to look like. So when the teachers come back in January, they're going to be putting in the recommendations for next school year. So it'll look something like this. It keeps a history of all of the recommendations that teachers have made for them from 9th through 12th grade. And then when they go into the registration piece, the course requests, this is how it's going to look. So just note here, okay, so they're going to put their course requests. So those first two categories up there are going to show the course requests. So they show the solid credits and then the ones that are not solid. But they're not going to be able to get sometimes all of the courses that they're requesting. So let's say they request something like girls chorus and it doesn't fit into their schedule. You'll notice on the very bottom here, it's hard to see, I know, but it shows alternates. So students are going to have to select alternate courses in case they can't get something that they requested. So we ask that they select them first carefully, and that they rank them carefully. Because when our registrar goes and he actually does the scheduling, if they can't get that girls' chorus in their schedule, then he is going to go to the first alternate. And if there's room in that class, then the student will be placed in that class. If there's no room, then he goes down to number 2 and so forth until he finds somewhere where he can place that course for the student. So we reminded them, and we hope that you'll remind them again, because oftentimes they will tell us, oh, I never requested that course. I don't know how it got into my schedule. And then we go back and we look at it, and we actually see that it's somewhere in their alternate list. So we just want to remind the students and the parents, if you can, help remind too, to make sure that they're doing that carefully. Okay, and then honors diploma. So some of your students are already enrolled in honors classes. Some of them might be thinking about earning an honors diploma, so this is the criteria for it. To earn an honors diploma, students must complete at least 7 credits in our honors program. Out of those 7 credits, they have to complete at least 2 advanced placement or dual credit courses, and the minimum for that would be 1.5 credits. They can also meet that requirement for the AP or dual credit course, the AP or dual credit course, at least one, has to be taken in senior year, and then a 4th, 5th, or 6th year of a language can also take the place of one AP course. The student also has to maintain a cumulative GPA of 3.5 and a 3.0 weighted average in honors program courses. So if you have any questions about this, or your child has any questions about earning an honors diploma, please call us or have your child come and meet with us. In the class of 2017, we had, I think it was 103 that ended up earning an honors diploma, and we're hoping to keep that tradition alive with this class as well. Okay, so now I'm going to turn it over to our Director of College Counseling, Catherine Kekaulike, who's going to be talking to you folks about dual credits.
And can we all wish Mrs. Chernisky a very happy birthday? I'm sure there's nowhere she would rather be this evening than here with all of you. I've been a college counselor here for 17 years. I have a background in higher ed, both admissions and financial aid, but I'm actually 1 month into a new position. So I am the post-secondary program director, and part of that entails dual credit. So I'm also a straight shooter, so for better or worse. So forgive me when I just tell you exactly how this is going to be looked at. So I know a lot of times students are like, where was the auto shop and the fun stuff in all of that course planning? Because this looks like a lot of academic stuff. So the funny thing is, having been a college counselor, students want to go to a good college, right? Who doesn't want to go to a good college, right? But the funny thing is, good colleges want good students. So how do you prove you're a good student? The first thing they're going to look at is what courses were available to you at your high school, and what courses did you choose to take, followed by how well you did in those courses, okay? So what we're talking about is selectivity and academic rigor. So there are different levels. Just say, for example, English. There's English 9. You can specialize and look at history of Lit and Pacific within, kind of that focus on Hawaiian stuff within literature. There's honors English, there's going to be dual credit English, and there's AP English. Holy moly, how do I make these choices? So what we really want to encourage you to do is we start these conversations about course selection, and I know it feels early being a freshman, like, let me be a kid already. You want to begin with the end in mind. And I know it feels really early, but I wish I had a me when I was your age to be like, what are you doing? Why are we doing this? And how can we best plan for it? All of the research is showing you want to take the most rigorous courses possible and rise to that occasion. You keep doing that, and I know sometimes students say, well, I don't want to take an honors or an AP or dual credit because I don't want to get a B. Like, I'd rather get an A in a regular course. You may rather, but colleges would rather see you actually challenge yourself and rise to meet that challenge as best as you can, okay? So if you're kind of wavering on that, please chat up your grade level counselors about those conversations. As a college counselor or a former college counselor, I can honestly say colleges want to see you doing well. And we'll talk about AP in a minute too. So dual credit is an awesome, relatively new opportunity here at Kapālama and actually Tri-Campus as well. This allows you to be taking one course, but you earn Kamehameha credit towards graduation and college credit for the same course, okay? So this is an awesome, awesome opportunity, and I really want to emphasize the word opportunity. There are some restrictions on this and some kind of things you should be aware of as you're making these decisions about this opportunity. So one is it's open, but you must opt in or choose to participate. So say, for example, we have an advanced speech course. Okay, so some of our juniors are in that course. In that course, you can say, you know what, I don't want the dual credit. I just, for whatever reason, I'm just stressed out or it just seems like extra pressure, what have you, and not do that, okay? But you're in the same course, whereas the kid right next to you is like, I'm all in, I wanna have the opportunity for dual credit. I understand that when I take dual credit, I am starting my college transcript. This is really important because starting your college transcript, if it's A's, awesome, really, really good. If you don't take that opportunity seriously and you don't do well or you don't meet what's called satisfactory academic progress, which is a college term of a minimum 2.0, it can impact your financial aid at the college level. So this is a huge opportunity, but hopefully like any course, something that you're gonna take very, very seriously as well. Now, for those who do choose to participate and jump in with both feet and really rise to this occasion, you also get the Gpa Bump, so, right? So on a 4.0 scale, the dual credit is actually a 0.5 grade point scale. So we're acknowledging that this is, you know, college level work for that. It's not a guarantee that those courses will transfer everywhere across the nation, but we're trying really, really hard to align to courses that are most transferable. And again, beginning with the end in mind, if you have an idea where you may want to end up or enroll, you can check now about the transferability online with those courses. The other amazing thing, and this does not happen everywhere in every state, Kamehameha pays the tuition. So for any parents who have older children in college, getting a free college course is a pretty amazing deal. They pay any books. College textbooks are incredibly expensive. Any materials and supplies that go with that. The only financial obligation for the family is if your family is not on Kamehameha financial aid, you would pay the application fee for the college. Also, if you don't have a current TB test, that would be something that you would need to take care of through your family doctor or at Haleola, okay? But it's pretty minimal when you think about this, could be hundreds or even over $1,000 for the course. Now, how would I decide, okay, I'm up for the challenge, I wanna get into a really good school, I wanna prove I'm a good student. How would I decide between dual credit or advanced placement? So this is kind of an interesting one. What I will share is that if you're looking at the most selective colleges in the nation, so those we see on TV a lot, the ones probably most everyone can name, the Ivy League schools, Stanford, those really, really selective schools, they are not going to transfer those credits from dual credit. They want those courses to be taken at their campus. What they do prefer are the AP courses. Now, I will also put a disclaimer, they are unlikely to give you credit, even if you get a 5 on the AP exam. But they want to see that level of, here's the big word, standardized rigor. So the AP courses, it's a nationwide curriculum. So you know when you have on the horizon the PSAT or the SAT? That's a standardized exam. So on that Saturday, kids across the nation are sweating it out, taking that same exam. When you're in that AP chemistry course, that curriculum is standardized across the nation. Whereas if we have a dual credit and it's English 101, is that the same course at UH Manoa, UH Hilo, and UH West Oahu? Well, I don't know, maybe, maybe not. We're not really sure, nor are the receiving colleges. Does that make sense? Okay, so if you wanna go really, really selectively, absolutely the AP courses for your colleges. I will also say all of the research is showing, even if you take that AP course and maybe get a C because they're pretty rigorous, and maybe don't get the score you would have wanted on that AP exam, the research is still showing that your college persistence is going to be way higher with even just one AP course, because if you struggle through that course and you persist, you are building a skill set that will benefit you moving through college. You're learning to buckle down. You're learning to study. You're learning to ask questions. You're learning to use your time wisely and well. And that push, getting through that AP course or AP courses here on campus is actually going to be a huge benefit to you, not just for selective admissions, but also for persisting through college, because we don't want to just get you to college. We want to get you through college and graduating into a great life for yourself. Now, for those dual credit courses, again, you get the credit for here at Kapālama, and you also have the credit at the college. Whether or not the college you ultimately enroll in will take it, we're not sure, or take it in that exact same area, maybe count it as elective instead of exactly for English or history or whatever it may be. You must opt in. It will show up on your high school transcript, and you'll also be able to request an official college transcript as well to have that. And again, they're both on that 5-point grading scale, okay? So this is it's a real decision. It's a huge opportunity. You have access to these kind of courses that will prepare you well for your future, but something to really take seriously and include in your conversation with your grade level counselors. So currently we have partnerships with Hawaii Pacific, developing partnerships with Chaminade. We were on a conference call with UH Manoa, with Manoa Academy this morning. And then there are also other opportunities brewing as well. So you folks are well positioned as parents and students of the freshman year, because these opportunities are only going to increase, okay? So be aware that this is an opportunity. We're here to support you and help you through this. Also, families, please be aware there's gonna be a lot of paperwork and for each of the different schools. I'm gonna introduce my colleague and friend, Dr. Puahiga, from the curriculum side to talk about some of those differences.
So when we talk about dual credits, there are different ways you can look at the dual credits by university that we offer them from. So these are just two different options. We have HPU and Hawaii Manoa Academy, okay? So just kind of wanted to see them side by side. So both of them, you need to opt in as a student. You need to want to do that, because obviously if a student is motivated to do it, then they'll be a lot happier than if their parents are motivating them to do it. So they really need to put in the extra effort and motivation. Secondly, for HPU, there is no minimum GPA requirement. With UH Manoa, there is a 2.8 GPA minimum, as well as a 1040 SAT combined, so 520 and 520. And I'll explain why later. HPU, we offer courses 9 through 12. We're very selective about which courses we choose, and that is because our teachers actually get vetted by HPU as well as our curriculum. So our teachers have to submit transcripts and things like that. HPU Manoa Academy, UH Manoa Academy is primarily 11th and 12th grade. When you apply to HPU, you are actually applying as a special status student, so it's non-degree seeking. And at UH Manoa Academy, you have a provisional admit, which means that if you persist at Kamehameha and graduate and you meet the minimum requirement, they're giving you provisional acceptance to UH Manoa, which is why there's a 2.8 and a 520 requirement for GPA. So that's a little bit different than HPU, yeah?
What is the provisional admit?
So that means that you are turning in your application, you're turning in your test scores and your GPA. We submit a transcript. And if you continue and you show progress after you graduate, you're actually getting pre-admittance to UH Manoa. So you're a provisional admit because you're still a student, but once you graduate, you can go into UH as a full-fledged student. So you don't have to do the application again. You've already done it as part of this process. Yeah, so that's a benefit. For both, you need proof of MMR. So, you know, when your children had their tests, their shots when they were young, the yellow card that you got from your doctor, you can Xerox that, or you can take a form and have your doctor sign it. You don't have to take another MMR test. However, for the TB, State of Hawaii law requires that when you enter a new school, you need to get a new TB test. It needs to be within 12 months of your first start date at the college. So even if you took a test 2 years ago when you first came to Kamehameha, you will need to take another TB test. We do have some opportunities to have them on campus at Haleola. And when you're enrolled in the class, we will send you that information. Haleola will do it for $15, the TB test. If you are a boarder, they will do it free of charge. Okay? You can have it done at your primary care physician as well. Again, the difference with curriculum. HPU, it's KS curriculum taught by KS teachers that are vetted by HPU and HPU's Faculty Senate. UH, it's a UH instructor that comes to campus and collaborates with our KHS instructor. The curriculum is UH's curriculum. So two different options again here.
So going back to the TV, if you don't know what your classes are for 10th grade and you think you're going to go through this process, you should take the TV before you start the senior every year.
If you know your child, so it depends on what class you're taking. So most of our dual credits, I'll be honest, are for 11th and 12th grade. The only one that's open to 9th and 10th is art history, and if you're in Japanese 3 or 4. Yeah, there are a couple of sophomores and juniors in there. The majority of classes are not going to impact you to 11th and 12th grade. But your children will be registering for classes, so when they get the schedule and you see art history or advanced speech, you can get your TB right at that moment. You still will have time. Okay? But we do recognize that in some doctors' offices, it takes a long time to get into the doctor. So that's why we want to give you ahead of, maybe during the Christmas break, if you know that your child is going to want to take art history, get it now. Get it out of the way. Because it's still 12 months, yeah? And so again, the last thing is KS Kumo are teaching the HPU classes, and for UH, the instructor actually comes in. We are very fortunate that we have some of our KS instructors that teach in the university system, and so in the cases of those classes, the UH instructor is the KHS instructor. It's the same person. So here are some of the offerings for Spring 2018. This PowerPoint will be available to you, but if you are looking at registering for any of these courses and you want dual credit, these are the ones that we're going to be offering in spring. So we have Japanese, advanced speech, art history, botany, literature of the Pacific, which is a senior English elective, honors economics, and intro to political science. We are expanding every year, and we're offering more classes. We also offer some courses that are dual credit during the summer, and Kella Park will be talking to you about that. One thing I'd also like to recommend is the course catalog will be available electronically. We're going to be sending it out on December 19th. In our course catalog, we will list which courses are dual credit so that you'll know ahead of time. We also will be listing courses that are NCAA compliant, so if you're looking at NCAA, there's going to be information on that in the course catalog too. Okay. Basic requirements. There's an application from the college. This is not a KS application. This is the actual application from the university. We all have a registration form, so that will list the courses that they're going to be taking. A FERPA is like a consent form. That's an agreement between KS and the institution that they will provide us grades and any information that we need. Health clearance, again, in red because it is the most difficult form that we've had to collect from parents. Okay? It's in red because think ahead when you know if you want to do dual credit. Okay? And then the last two are KHS forms, a parent agreement form, as well as an acknowledgement that you know that your child is applying for a dual credit class. Because the first 3 forms, you do not have to sign anything with the college because your child is actually applying to college. So the last forms are the ones that you would be signing as a parent. And just in case you want to find more information and look at some of the course syllabi that talks about the classes that we offer, this is the website that you can go to. It's a blog. It has all of the different content areas at the top, and it has the deadlines and anything that you would like to know about our dual credit classes. And here is our email. If you have any questions after today, you're more than welcome to email us, and we will get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you so much for your time, and I will share the stage with Kella Park Summer School.
Okay, lots and lots and lots of information. I apologize for my voice. It's been gone for 4 weeks now, so too bad. Lots and lots of information. And I know you have questions, so give me about 5 minutes to get through summer school, and then we'll try to get some of your questions about graduation requirements, registration, dual credit, before we move on to Naviance, okay? So, my name is Kella Park. I am the summer school director here at Kapālama. Where does summer school play a role in the requirements for your students? You know that Kamehameha offers an incredible amount of opportunity for your student, right? See, I knew I was going to start coughing as soon as I start talking. Some of our kids want to be in band for 4 years. That takes up credits in their classes, takes up time in their schedule. They want to do concert glee. They want to be in leadership. They want to draw every semester because that's what they're passionate about. How do we get our children to get the 24 credits that they need to graduate and still take advantage of what Kamehameha has to offer? That's where summer school comes into play. How many of you are brand new freshmen? Didn't come from middle school? Oh, not too many here. I don't have to talk too much. You guys know my spiel. Summer school offers the opportunity for your children to get their graduation requirements out of the way so that they can take these things during the school year. Do I offer a full load of classes during the summer? Yes and no. For the most part, yes. I offer science, I offer math, I offer English. English is not for credit. Know that. Math, not for credit. It's for recovery. Okay? But we offer social studies, we offer language. We offer different things that allows the students to get a graduation requirement out of the way for them to take part in band or orchestra or leadership. Or what else do you guys like to do? Anybody? Nobody? Nothing? All right, you don't need to come summer school then. You can go to school and just sort of, no, I'm only kidding. Okay, come on, guys. We got it. Okay, so for your languages, that's the other thing that you need to, if your student is interested in going to Hawaiian 6, most of them, the only way they can do that is by taking summer school. I offer Hawaiian 1, 2, and 3. That allows them to take summer and then go to 4, 5, and 6. So those are things that you need to think about as you're building your schedule. If your student is interested in getting to Hawaiian 6, most of them will at least need to take 1 year of language. You have to remember that that needs to be consecutive. So when you're planning your schedule and your 4-year plans, make sure you plan for summer school. Dual credit. Summer school has begun offering dual credit. We will offer advanced speech. We will hopefully offer through UH Manoa. And again, Manoa is for rising seniors, so something to look for in the future. This year, I hope to offer economics, Hawaiians to fulfill Hawaiian history credit, psychology, sociology, geology, and intro to business. Again, these are thousands of dollars that KS will pay for your students to take classes at the university and get dual credit. Huge opportunity for our kids. So these are just, we're letting you know so that you can start to plan, have talk stories with your children so that they know that this is coming up. The one class that I am offering, and I am pushing hard, Hawaiian 290. We're running a dual credit program of Hawaiian 290 with a community college, Kaʻiwakīloumoku Community College. These are for Hawaiian 3 and 4 students. I don't know if anybody in here is at that level yet. Some are. Hawaiian 290, if the students successfully pass this course, they will walk out of that class with 20 credits from Kaʻiwakīloumoku Community College. They will give them credit for Hawaiian 101, 102, 201, 202, and 290. Huge opportunity. So if your students are interested, please call me and let me know, and we'll try to get them. But they have to be finishing Hawaiian 3 or 4. Okay? So that's what our summer school program is. Our summer school program gives you the opportunity to register your kids for requirements so that they can take other things during the summer. My dates for you are Friday, January 26th. I open at 7 a.m. I close at 4 p.m. on Saturday, January 27th. You have 2 days. Why is that so? For those of you who have been with me, you know. Summer school registration can close in a matter of 30 seconds. My economics class will close in 30 seconds. At 7 a.m. by 7 and 30 seconds, it's closed, including 48 spots for the wait list. So summer school is a first-come, first-served registration, which is very different from graduation requirements, yeah, for regular school. You put in your course request, and then they try to schedule you how best they can. Summer school is first-come, first-served. Summer school Anybody can register you. Student, parent, grandma, uncle, brother, sister. If you can get into KS Connect, you can register. Knowing that, make sure that before your summer school registration day comes up, you have those discussions. What classes do you want to take? The other thing you need to remember is that I register by grade level. So juniors will register first, Monday and Tuesday. Then sophomores, Wednesday and Thursday. And then you, Friday and Saturday. Okay? All right. Questions, concerns, thoughts, ideas? Yes, ma'am. Can I repeat the times? Friday, January 26th, 7 a.m. It'll open. It'll close on Saturday, January 27th at 4 p.m. If you miss your registration and you want to register after, hard copy needs to be sent to my office. It's by space available. Yes? Summer school catalog will be available online on December 1st. Any other questions? Doesn't have to be about summer school. Questions about registration, dual credit while we have the people here. Yes, ma'am. What kind of online courses do I offer? Excellent question. Summer school is venturing into online. Currently, I only have online courses for rising juniors and seniors. I offer Hawaiian history. I also give preference to boarders. Part of what we're trying to do is give same opportunity to our boarding families. I offer Hawaiian history online. I offer economics online. Rising juniors and seniors. I'm working on it. I'm working on other things, but right now, that's all I got. Economics, Hawaiian history. This year through Manoa Academy, we'll do geology and business, intro to business. Rising seniors. Manoa is right, so future. Think future. But we're looking at online. We understand that that's something that we need to go to. Absolutely.
My second question is regarding your son or daughter. They get into summer school.
Okay.
And so like my son, he plays club volleyball.
Okay.
And they travel for at least 4 or 5 days
Yep.
in the summer for
Yep.
national. What is the policy for absences? And
3 days of absence. I do not waiver. I gotta tell you
Okay,
guys straight
thank
up.
you.
Straight up. I am about straight up honesty. I do not waiver on 3 days of absence. Because we tell the kids every day is 1 week of school. That is 3 weeks of school that your student is missing. Please don't ask me. Please don't ask my teachers because it gets really hard for them because they really want to help you guys, and I understand that. But I have 3 days of absence. You also cannot miss the last 2 days of school with final exams.
And 1 term.
1 term. I am straight up honest about that. If you have a medical situation that is dire and you had no control over it, of course I am willing to talk story. But I'm not really willing to talk a story about anything else. We have a 3-day absence policy. It is what it is. We understand that it's really difficult because our kids are playing sports and they're going everywhere. Life is about choices. I'm trying to look at other options. Right now, I don't have them.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, I'm brutally honest sometimes. Yes, ma'am. Yo, I'm sorry. One here.
Sorry, it's for the
No?
regarding the dual credits.
Okay.
Do you have to do all the forms every year, or is it just the first initials time?
Okay, so it depends on which institution you're applying to. So you have to do the forms the first time you apply to that university. So if you're taking an HPU course, you have to do the HPU course. If your second dual credit course is with UH Manoa, you will need to fill out the UH Manoa applications, including the health clearance. But you already have the TB card from the first one, so just Xerox the card and submit it, as long as it's within 12 months. And there can also be, since we're talking about this topic, if your child takes art history their freshman year, they may not get to take another dual credit to their junior year. So if it's HPU, art history is HPU, you don't have to redo all the forms for HPU because you are already a student at HPU. You just would need to do the first page of the application again. Okay, good question.
And I'm going to clarify, you're also going to have to do the Kamehameha opt-in. You have to tell Kamehameha you want to opt in. But you don't have to do the application and pay the fee. Yeah?
Kella.
Yes.
What is the last days for the finals exam for summer? That's one.
Okay.
And the second question is, if you have HPU in 9th grade,
Yes.
can you have in 10th grade another dual credit, but say for UH?
First question, last day for summer school final exams, July 19th and July 20th. Thursday, the 19th, Friday, the 20th. In answer to the dual credit question, currently, the only thing that we offer to 9th graders and 10th graders is art history through HPU or Japanese 3 and 4. Probably the next chance for them at this point in time is not until their junior year, where they can take advanced speech, and then Manoa can only be done junior, senior year. They're not taking students younger than that. Does that answer your question? Awesome. Yes, ma'am.
Could you elaborate on where the class is for the dual credit for Manoa and then the dual credit for HPU? Does the student need to go to HPU or vice versa?
Currently, it's on campus. Currently, it's on campus. And I say currently because we're constantly looking at things, but currently, all classes are on campus. Sure. Or online, eventually.
So it depends on the class again. For the Windward Community College botany class, they actually did go to Windward Community College 3 times to use their equipment, their science labs. So there may be times where they would visit the other institution. Yeah, majority of them are here. There was one question here, if I could.
For the dual credits, do they have a period of dropping out if they don't feel they can make it?
So for each class, there is a period of time, there's a date where they can actually opt out of the class if they've chosen without a penalty of a W or an F. So yes.
Those things should be published on the blog site so that you folks are well aware of what those dates are. Any other questions? Those dates should be published on the blog site so you're well aware of when you need to withdraw your student if they don't feel that they can successfully complete it. Yeah. Yes.
Right here.
My summer school? Yeah. June 12th. Tuesday, June 12th. June 11th is Kamehameha Day, and we do not work on that day. I wonder why. Any other questions? No? Please don't be afraid to ask questions. That's why we're here, to answer what we can for you. Back there. Yes, ma'am. Have a question?
We're enrolled currently for a world history trip.
Okay.
So should I sign up?
If you are registered for Global Connections to go this summer, you are already registered. You do not need to re-register with summer school. You're done. But you gotta pay my fees. I pay my bills. You cannot take summer school because you will, yeah, with the new dates that I just heard, you're already way too into to my summer school. You missed too many days. But no, you don't have to get online and register for that class. Questions? Yes, ma'am.
If she's already into an art history class and is there a deadline for that?
If she's currently registered in art history right now, deadline is passed. You should have. So I'm gonna warn you. Anybody who is in advanced speech or art history, you will receive an email. Please look for that. I know Kamehameha sends out all of these beautiful emails. I tell everybody, look for summer school and look for dual credit. Those are the 2 important emails. Don't throw them away. Every student that is registered for art history or advanced speech will get an email before the semester starts and give you the information that you need to register your student. So yes, if she's already into it, at this point in time, it's too late. Any other questions? No? Is she in spring semester? Oh, shucks. Maybe she didn't. I don't know. We could check. We could check. But no, if she's taking it now and she didn't have you sign that paper, my guess is she's not registered. Yeah. Okay. Please know that we are here to answer questions, that we're here to help. If you have questions, by all means, call us. Your counselors can answer questions. If you have summer school questions, my summer school office is available to answer questions for you as well. But thank you so much for coming out and spending time with us. We will wait around till the end if you have questions during that time. But we're going to turn it back over to your grade level counselors to do Naviance.
Okay, so real quick again, before we start off with our Naviance presentation, if you're having any issues or not able to log into your parent Naviance account, if you can please see Catherine Kekaulike here on your right, and she can go ahead and get you, help you with that. Okay, so again, my name's Tara Bagayas, and I am the counselor for the first half of the Alpha, so all students with last names A through KE. And today, my part of it is to go over Naviance and just kind of showing you what your students have done up to this point, and different things that are coming down over the next 3 years. Okay, so first thing, we're gonna just go ahead and look at the purpose of our Naviance Family Connection. Just do a quick overview of grades 9 through 12, different guidance topics that we covered, Naviance Tasks. We'll do a quick tour of the Naviance Family Connection, and then we'll go over any questions or concerns that you might have. Okay, so Naviance Family Connection is an online resource. It helps students explore interests, identify strengths, helps them to create plans for the future, researching careers, researching colleges, and it helps our students, actually all of the applying through to colleges will actually be done through the Naviance program as well. Okay, so just to give you a quick visual of our Naviance program, so it is a tri-campus program, and it's fairly new, started in 2004, and it does start in the middle school. So for all of our students that are coming up from the middle, that was their first introduction to Naviance, grades 7 through 12. Okay, so what is the purpose of Naviance? So again, this is a web-based program, and it's accessible anywhere that you have internet. So the students can get into their account through their KS Connect, and then parents, you have your own link to get into the program and log in and all that stuff. So grade 9, we're just kind of looking, starting off with our freshmen. They're learning about themselves, looking at career exploration. 10th grade is going to be a little bit more in depth, and then both with looking at themselves and then also looking at career exploration. 11th grade is they're going to start preparing and planning for colleges. And then 12th grade is going to be applying for colleges and scholarships. So again, this is kind of like our, I guess kind of like a one-stop shop where it'll have all the college information, scholarship information, applications, different personality inventories. It holds a lot of really great valuable information. Okay, so here for the 9th grade freshman year, these are a list of our guidances that we do. So we have the cycles, and it came out to be about once a month. The students are coming. They come for their 1 day a week, and it is on during one of their free periods. And these are all the different topics that we're covering. So we did a welcome to freshman guidance. We looked at introducing them to the Student Support Center, which is on the 910 campus. We reviewed some tools for freshman year success. We're looking at career exploration. We started the registration a few weeks ago, and we'll continue that when they get back from winter break. We're also going to look at healthy relationships. And then we also have a looking ahead to your future. We're going to go ahead and get your 9th graders started off with their resume and game plan. And those two, they will do that all 4 years. So they'll always go in and update both the resume and the game plan. And then in addition to the guidance topics, some of the things that we did in Naviance as part of our guidance was we had all of our students complete a learning style inventory. So it was just a inventory of questions that the student answered, and we asked them to be honest. And it just kind of gives them a nice long report with information on how they learn best, things that work for them, maybe things that don't work for them, looking at their motivation level. Career Cluster Finder is another task that we have as part of our Naviance. We asked all of our students to add a career cluster to their list. And then we still have game plan survey, and we're going to go ahead and start the resume at the end of this, or not the end of the school year, but second semester of the school year. Okay, so 10th grade, again, this is just some of the topics that they'll cover. It'll be an intro to 10th grade guidance, PSAT orientation. They'll do the MI Advantage, which is one of their large tasks in Naviance next year as sophomores. Registration again. PSAT results and Naviance Career Interest Profiler. And we, as 9th graders, will also do the PSAT test results review. We just forgot to add that to the previous slide. making Pono choices, and then again, looking ahead to 11th grade, where they will update their resume and then also update their game plan. And then some of their tasks for the sophomore year will be the MI Advantage, Career Interest Profiler, and they're gonna update resume and the game plan survey. Okay, junior year is when it starts to kind of shift a little. So we're gonna start talking to them about attending college rep visits. So we have, I wanna say, over 200 maybe colleges that come on campus to do visits with the students. So we'll start introducing them to that and getting them familiar with the process to attend those visits. We'll do an introduction to grade 11 guidance. We will again do PSAT orientation. We'll do some college knowledge, which is a fun lesson. We just go over a lot of different terms that we want our students to become familiar with as they get closer to applying for colleges and scholarships and financial aid. We will do registration for their senior year, how colleges select students, and then we'll also have an NCAA NIA workshop for all of our student athletes. And then some of our Naviance tasks for the 11th grade is attending college rep visits, Do What You Are, which is another personality inventory for your student. We will update resume, game plan survey. There's a super match college search that we'll kind of just go over briefly tonight. And then students will start adding colleges to the list. Then the final year, so this would be focusing primarily on their post-secondary planning. We're looking at colleges and the common applications. We're looking at transcripts, reviewing them, graduation requirements. Application processing will start. They'll start finishing it up. We'll start checking up with them, making sure everything's in. Financial aid and scholarships, and that will be kind of a dual effort with grade level counselors and our college counselors as well. And then just getting them ready to graduate and looking at next steps. So Naviance Tasks through 12th grade. So all of our students, as part of a non-credit graduation requirement, all students are required to take either the SAT or ACT at some point during their junior and senior year. We do ask that everybody attend one visit, both junior and senior year. Again, asking them to update their resume, game plan, completing their FAFSA, applying for college, and then applying for scholarships. Okay, so we're gonna just do a quick tour. So if you have your laptop or your phone or however you wanna go on, you can do your account or your student's account, whichever is easier. Okay, so for our parent login, it's a little bit different. So everybody should have received an email from either Shannon Cadell or Kara Kakinami, and it just had this link. So you can log in for the parents. So it would just be the email and the password that your account was created with. So again, this looks a little bit different than what how our students log in. Our students, again, go in through KS Connect. So it's not an actual separate link for them. So we'll just take a few minutes to have everybody get logged in. Okay, so once you're logged in, this would be the first screen that should pop up. So it's kind of like our welcome screen. So we just announce things that are upcoming, and these are screenshots from earlier in the school year, so it actually may be things that your student already completed. And then we just have a quick welcome message for the students. And then if you look at the top of this screen, there's different tabs. So you can go through colleges, careers, about me, and my planner. And we'll go through each of the tabs tonight to just kind of get a quick overview of what pieces are in each tab. And then if you're in a tab and you ever want to get back to the home screen, you just click on the orange button and it'll bring you back to this first screen. Okay, so the first tab we'll look at is My Planner. So you can go in and there's different tools that you can use within this tab here. There's an overview, so it kind of lets you know if students want to keep track of any upcoming things, they can also use this program. There's a goals section, which is really nice. If you want to go ahead and go in and look at different, if you want to set goals for yourself for the school year, academic, personal, that's a place they can keep it. There's also a to-do list. And then the tab that we probably use the most in our guidance classes is the task assigned to me, which would be the purple tab. Okay, so when you open up the task assigned to me, your students will see all the different tasks that they have for this school year. So again, this was a little bit earlier in the school year, so there's a lot more tasks listed than what your student may have now. And that's just because they've been finishing tasks along the way. Okay, so it'll show all the different ones. So we worked on career clusters, we added careers already to their, we already completed that task in our guidance class. And then, you can see the game plan survey, the learning style inventory was also already completed, and then the grit survey was also completed in an earlier guidance. So it may look different for your screen or for your student screen, just depending on where they're at for their guidance. And then on the bottom area, it'll show you tasks that they've completed. So as the students finish all the different guidance tasks that we've given them, it'll list here under that area. And then you can always go in that way to if you want to see the reports for those different tasks. Okay, and then the next tab we have is the About Me. So this is where a lot of the inventories are housed. And the students, again, will be doing it throughout the 3.5 years. So the one that we completed this year for 9th grade was the Learning Style Inventory and the Career Interest Profiler. Those were the two that we worked on this school year. But another also a quick short link is if you want to just look at everything that your student has completed. If they've come up from the middle school, it also houses that information there. You can just look in their portfolio button and it'll list all the different tasks and things that, or inventories that they've done in the program. Okay, so just again, looking at the About Me, 9th grade was the Learning Style Inventory. So kind of what was the point of that? So we looked at your child's learning style preferences. So it had a list of questions that the student had to answer. And then they're looking at how they prefer to learn, whether they like it to be completely quiet, they like to have a quiet area in their room, or maybe they like to be around a lot of noise, music, TV going on, just depending on how they function best. And then it also looked at what are the conditions under which your child best learns. So there are different types of learners. Maybe your student needs to get up and move around. Maybe they may be a more hands-on person. They prefer to read. They prefer to get instruction. They prefer to talk about it. Just different types of ways that they can learn. And then this is what it looked like when your student completed it. So it showed them this chart, and it kind of gave them an idea of how, based on how they answered the questions, this is what their learning style was. And then they also had a full report on their specific learning style inventory that they did. So you can also view that just to get more information on how your student did on this specific inventory. And there's no right or wrong answers. That's what we always try to emphasize to the students, that we're just looking for honest information because we just want to see how we can support you best and how your families can support you best. So we always just remind them, like, please don't feel like they have to answer it a certain way. That we're not expecting them to answer it how we want it to be answered. So that's something that we always stress to them. Okay, and then just kind of looking ahead, we'll just look at some of the tasks that are upcoming for the 10th, 11th, and 12th grade year. So for our sophomore year, they will work on the MI Advantage. And that's going to be our multiple intelligences. So we're looking at a variety of intelligences, strengths that can be used in many ways to help the student be successful. And then also just looking at things that, intelligence that can be developed further, both strengths and challenges. So we want them to understand that they're still growing, and it's not just this is it, kind of a stop, and that this is how it's going to be for the rest of your life. We just want them to understand that things can change, they're going to grow, they're going to become different people. So, things will change along the way. But we like to also give them an idea of where they're at currently. And this is just a quick visual of the different types of pieces that they could have based on how they answer the questions for the MI Advantage. So it's kind of nice because it looks at them as a whole and we're not just focusing on their academic parts. Okay, so again, this is what your students' report will look like. There'll also be a quick chart and a full report for you, for both you and your student to review and look at together. And then based on how they answered or based on what their MI Advantage results are, it also gives them a list of careers related to how they answered the questions. So it's kind of nice. Okay, so junior year is when we're gonna start moving over to the careers tab. Okay, so actually some of our students have already started with this portion here, so you can ask them to share their list of their favorite careers and clusters. And everybody should have a list, even if it's a little one, they should have some things already on there. We've asked them to save at least one so they know just based on how they're answering. Another cool piece about Naviance is they have this, it's actually a collection of videos. So it's really awesome. There's over, again, 3,500 videos of just all different types of careers. And it interviews people in their career. So that's really nice. If your student says they want to be a nurse, it interviews a nurse. The nurse is talking to the camera, telling them what their day-to-day tasks are. So, and there's a wide range. Like, it's not just your typical traditional careers. They have things, I think Jake Shimabukuro was on a video. They had the creator of Volcom on a video. So it's just nice if the students just want to get more inside information on what that career looks like. This is also something that they can do on their free time, or parents, you can also look at it too. Okay, so college tab is when we'll start that ending of sophomore year, junior and senior year. College maps. So if you click on here, it'll actually show you where KS students attend college. So this part's kind of nice. If your student is a little bit worried about where they want to go and they just kind of want to get maybe an idea of possible locations if they want to be close to their fellow classmates. And then it'll bring up this map here, and all the red will show different colleges that our students are at across the nation, or just all over the place actually. Okay, and then they can look at different schools based on on areas. Okay, so another good one, so I had mentioned this earlier, this is the Supermatch College Search. So this is a really great tool for our students who maybe have no idea how to even get started on what kind of colleges to look for. And it is open now, so you can always go in and kind of play around with it, get ideas. And again, we're just starting, so it's not anything that we want you guys to finalize. But anyway, when you go to this tab, this is what it looks like. And then over on the left side of the screen, it actually has all different subcategories. So you can go in and you can play with it. You can look at different locations, costs, sizes of the school. If your student is an athlete, you can look for sports. If your student is considering a religious college, you can look at things like that. Like all girls schools, just all different types of little pieces that you can look at, and it'll pull up a list of all the things that your student is looking for. And you can actually save that list. So that part's really nice. And again, you can save multiple lists, so don't worry if you change your mind a few years down the line. This is just a really nice tool to kind of help you get started and have an idea of what's out there. And then for parents, which is really nice, you can look at the cost. So if you want to keep it under a certain cost, you can also play with that part of it. Just a lot of different pieces that you can look at when determining schools that might be a good fit. So the list will come up, and then it'll link, if you want to, you can link directly to that school's website. Okay, so that part's really nice as well. Graduation rate, that's also a really nice piece of it too. You can find out how many students that go there actually complete and earn their degree. Okay, so just kind of looking at some overall things. I know it's a lot of information, so please, feel free to look at it later on at home with your student and just kind of get an idea of all the different tools that we use in the program. It's really great, so I highly encourage everyone to get on with their student and ask your students, because they're probably experts by now on how to kind of work through the program. So just some quick tips on how parents can help. So again, it's just a tool to assist your child. It's not the end all, so please don't feel like whatever they said in this Naviance program, that's it. We just want it to be an additional support. We don't want it to be, that's it. Okay, so again, it can also help facilitate dialogue. A lot of the times, as our students go up in grades, they don't always share with their family what their thoughts are on schools or what they want to do after they graduate. And we just want that to start early so everybody can be on the same page. We just ask that, recognizing and respecting your child's uniqueness. Sometimes as parents it's hard because we have a certain thought or idea of how we want our student to, or what we want our student to do after they leave high school, and that's not always the case. So we just ask that you have that conversation, even if it sounds like something completely off the wall. Maybe just give it a little bit of time to process, and then you can revisit together instead of just shutting it down right away. Honor your child's journey. So we see it all the time. They come in as ninth graders, and by the time they graduate, they're completely different people. So, just be patient and just go with them and see, what they learn about themselves, and just remember that, we do want to be there for them, but that really it's their path. So we want to make sure that we provide that support for them. Celebrate your child's successes, even little things. It's important to celebrate. And that's pretty much for our tips part. Are there any questions or anything you have questions about for Naviance or any of the other material that was covered today?
Is there a link or a site that we can go on and see what scholarships are available, say, whether it be sports, academics, band, color guard, whatever?
Yes. So the question was, is there a website or an area where you can go in to look at scholarships for athletics, merit, band? And yes, it is in Naviance. So it's under the colleges tab, the scholarship portion, and it'll list. And you can take a look at it now, but the only thing is it'll change every year. So if you just kind of want to get an idea of what's out there, you could definitely start to kind of see, but just know that sometimes it may not be offered the next year or something different may have been added. So you can always just maybe check it every year to get an idea. Yes. The question was, are there colleges that are not on Naviance? And yes, yeah, I would say that it's a pretty large listing, so there will be some that won't show up on Naviance. Any more questions?
When do they get their PSAT scores? January. December. It is December. Friday. Maybe Friday. Friday? Wow, Friday. Tell your student to go check. Any other questions? Can be any kind of questions. Can you talk about the difference between the ACT and the SAT? Sam, you want to take that? Miss Samantha?
Aloha, and correct me if I'm wrong, so both of them are standardized tests for college entrance that are used by the majority of colleges in the United States. One of them primarily focuses, the SAT primarily focuses on reading and math, and there's a writing component. The ACT is a little bit different. It does have science component to it. Does it still? Oh, science questions. Okay, so it's a little bit different. As you get closer to, you can preview it now if you want to online. However, as you get closer, the grade level counselors are going to talk to you and the college counselors a little bit more about the differences and which one might be best for you. Let me see if we have anything to add to that.
So in recent years, I would say within the last couple years, the SAT did change. They measured more critical thinking skills prior. So they've aligned, I think, a little bit more with the ACT in their testing. So they're actually testing students on what they have learned or are learning in school.
Any other questions?
For dual credit for UH Manoa, which sections of the SAT is being looked at for admissions entrance?
For dual credit, UH Manoa, what sections are being looked at? Both. They have to have a 510 in reading and a 510 in math. So PSAT counts as well. Okay, so 510 is the min, 2.8 grade point average. Any other questions?
What do you need for FAFSA?
The FAFSA lady went home. You guys want to take that? What do they need for FAFSA?
Hi. With regards to the question for FAFSA, I'm a parent, but I'm also a college student. So you're going to need everything that you give to Kamehameha, plus your tax papers from the prior year, and you're going to need to all your itemizations, everything for tax purposes in order to do FAFSA. So basically, everything that I, as a husband and wife tag team, we give to our tax man, we actually take all that FAFSA information and we would utilize it for colleges.
Does that answer your question? I just did my baby's FAFSA. IRS information transfers into FAFSA. It's beautiful, beautiful. It's a lot easier now, and the college counselors will go over with your college student, I'm sorry, they're not college students yet, your senior year for FAFSA. All right, gang, thank you so much for coming out tonight. We appreciate you being here. Drive safely. Next time we see you is Ho'olaulea. Don't forget to donate your time. Good night.